Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to cover the LPL Split 1 playoffs as well as America's Cup 2026. So first we have BLG JDG, a back and forth affair. BLG throwing games to JDG. JDG actually had a 2-1 lead in this series. Viper 14, 5, and 28 had a solo or 2v2 kill. Bin had a solo or 2v2 kill, 29% of the team's damage. Knight had 2 solo kills on Mel, 72 kill participation. Him and Shun matching in that. Shun and An also had a solo kill as well. JDG, Vampire, 0, 14, 39, 83 KP. Gala, 26 damage share. Had a solo or 2v2 kill. Zhaozhu and Hongqiu as well. Drake's 11 to 13 for BLG. JDG doing better in that category, getting objectives. Barons, however, went to BLG 5 to 2, so in the end, 16-15, they win the objective battle. But Drake's to JDG. Also, JDG 3,500 gold power play on average because they had like a 6,000 gold power play, 6,500, and then a 500 gold power play. So got the best of both worlds. BLG had a 2,000 gold average, and it was not the best of both worlds. It was just mediocrity. Honestly, I think I want to say all the 4 of the 6 barons fell between 1,000 and like 1,800 gold. 4 of them probably, and then one had like 3,000 gold, which is a solid power play. That's pushing the game forward for yourself, growing a lead. But the other 4 kind of just stalled the games out. JDG, I mean, the Olaf game, Junja really showed up in a big way. It came together in the mid to late game really strong. But Shun on the Kazakhs in his, I think it was game 4, was a massive difference maker. All over the Rift. That's where he got his solo kill. I mean, he played excellent League of Legends. But in the end, it was like, are BLG just going to throw this one away, or are they going to close this one out? And they did in game 5 in resounding fashion. So that is what it is. BLG are going to first stand, and that's not a big surprise based on who's on the roster. America's Cup 2026, we have Furia and Cloud9 first. Thought Cloud9 would win this 2-0, and they got beat pretty bad by Furia. I know I put on Twitter it was ugly, but then I also further explained that looking at games 1 and 2, because somebody responded and said, it seemed like the Cloud9's bot lane couldn't handle Furia's aggression from the bot lane 2v2. And I went back and I looked at those first bloods, and both of them were when Cloud9 were too far up in lane, getting ganked with a ward in their pocket and not seeing it coming. So there are levels to that, right? You think to yourself, well, you don't do that. That's not allowed. They got punished for it. And who knows? If you look back, maybe Cloud9, that is a problem with them. If we look closer at the vision efficiency numbers, do they place their wards? I wish I had a stat for how long. I wish there probably is a timer for it. How long players keep a ward in their pocket. I really think it's the most preventable thing in League of Legends is ganks. You can prevent ganks by doing your homework, and at the very minimum, not keeping a fucking ward in your pocket and getting aggressive in lane and getting caught and dying. So they lost the game, at least the bot lane 2v2s, in those instances. Right off the rip, you're behind. And then it just snowballs from there. Other players did it as well, getting caught up and too aggressive. And you got punished for it, and they deserve to lose because of it. So Furia takes advantage of their opportunities. Cloud9 gets caught with their pants down. Vision and ward placement, I said it in my tweet. Vision and ward placement may not necessarily be the reason you win, but it certainly can be the reason that you lose. So if you don't do it and you get ganked and you had a fucking ward in your pocket, that's on you. That's on you. That's no excuse. That's just on the player. And there's no, no. You put yourself behind already. Good luck. Have fun. Play it out and try and salvage the lane, lose gracefully, and hope the rest of your team weren't planning on you carrying the game and giving you the ball. Sorry about that. Something weird just happened. But regardless, you can't have you're giving a player the ball. You're planning on giving them the ball, and if they're not ready to carry, it fucks the whole team over. So that's the deal with that. It's unacceptable. Furia, Tatu 5-1-30, 83% of the team's damage. Toots 30% of the team's damage. Tatu at 83 KP. Cloud9, Vulcan 0713, 87 KP. They only had 15 kills. Thanatos 28% of the team's damage. He should have had the ball all series long. Drake's 2-7. So Furia had 7 of 9. We saw them take all 3 Barons. They were averaging about 2,400 gold to Baron power play. Gold difference. So, not gold difference, gold control. Furia were in control of this series when you take Drakes into account with gold difference 94% of the time. So they smoked Cloud9. Start to finish, game 1, they were ahead. In game 2, they were ahead for the majority. Then we have Sentinels Red. Game 1, very close. We saw the kill score equal. Red were ahead in gold, but behind in Drakes. And when we take that into account with our gold control we were just talking about before, this one was 87-13 for Sentinels. Game 2, a lot more lopsided for Sentinels. Rahel had a 2v2 kill, 8-3-13, 29% of the team's damage. Huhi, 97 kill participation. He was involved in 34 of 35 kills, something like that. So very, very impactful and present when the team was fighting. Frosty 1-4-16, Kaze 30% of the team's damage. Curse 86 kill participation. Drake, Sentinels took 8 of 9. Red and their gold control really came in the early game of game 1, and then in the early game of game 2 when they did take the first Drake, and then Sentinels just took the rest of them, and that washed out anything. Rebello had a solo or 2v2 kill as well. Sentinels 2-0, 2-0 in Barons, 4,420 on average. Both of them in game 1. Game 2, they did not need a Baron to win the game. I had Sentinels winning 2-1. I'm not, I watched the series, but it doesn't feel quite the way Cloud9 Furia series did. That was, Cloud9, yeah, well, they lost to Furia. I don't care what happened last year. It's just Cloud9 took Furia for granted, and they got punished. And who knows, if that's something Cloud9 keeps doing anyways, then they should get punished for it in-game and keep losing. Hopefully other teams take notice and they don't dominate the LCS and win-loss because teams aren't doing their homework. So, thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.